The information, opinions, and views expressed in this podcast are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They reflect the personal opinions of the host and guests and do not constitute professional, legal, financial, medical, or other expert advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, we make no representations or warranties regarding the completeness, reliability, or accuracy of any information discussed. Any action you take based on the information from this podcast is strictly at your own risk. Listeners and viewers are strongly encouraged to conduct their own research and consult with qualified professionals before making any decisions based on topics discussed in this podcast. The hosts, producers, and affiliates of this podcast are not responsible for any losses, damages, or outcomes that may arise from reliance on the information presented. By listening to or viewing this podcast, you acknowledge and agree that the responsibility for any decisions you make rests solely with you. Yo, what's good? What's good? We back at it, Tice. What's good with you, man?
Man, what's good, Jay? It's been a long time, but I'm glad to be back with our All Sides of the Coin podcast, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. It has been a minute, man. Yo, to all the listeners and subscribers out there, we apologize for the long break. After Thanksgiving holidays, a lot of things started happening in our personal lives. We lost family members. I lost my nephew, the great Solaire Man the Third. Tyson lost his uncle. You know what I mean? And we lost a few friends and family members. So got a little crazy, and we just felt like we had to take a break and get our minds right. So we just thank you for sticking in there with us. And also I found out my father has cancer, and so he's fighting through that right now. So but we appreciate y'all sticking in there with us, and we ask you to pray for the families, and we'll do the same. You know what I'm saying? So Tice, man, the season's over as far as the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a recap. What you thinking? What needs to happen
For our Eagles,
Yeah.
we got the new coordinator, so I like that.
Okay.
They just got to get together, and the offense got to gel. We got to sign some defensive players back, make sure our defensive line is good, right?
Okay.
Make some decisions right. But it's more or less that offense for me. We're going to be right with the defense and with Fangio doing our thing,
Mm-hmm.
just making sure, AJ's on board if we keeping him, and that the offense comes together and gels, man.
So you think the locker room is right now? What you think?
It all depends on AJ. If you ask my opinion, the rest of the locker room is good. Is he willing? If we keep him, is he?
But do we
right?
solo out one person, or do we blame the home team? Because it's a team, right? If we have one issue, the whole team has an issue. So
Yeah, it's a team issue, but and everybody don't get along in sports and stuff like that. But it's just the way you go about and how you carry it. And
Okay.
the way he went out in public and doing that instead of keeping it behind doors,
Right.
It's like it looks like it's just about me.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you know what I mean? So. That's just me. So that's why I say, there's more an issue, but it's like if those issues keep it behind doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then it don't come out in the public and everybody think there's problems, like major problems, and it seems like he's the only one that's talking.
That's real.
Or that's like that.
Yeah, I agree. So y'all, we just got to get it together so that we can, come out the gate this year and just do our thing.
And do our thing. Fly, Eagles, fly.
That's it. So today's episode is titled "Jewels for the People." If you guys have been watching the news, going to the grocery store, paying your bills, and just living everyday life, you probably noticed the same thing we have. Prices are rising, companies are laying people off, and for many Americans, the outlook feels a little uncertain. A lot of this is being driven by national inflation, the broader economic downturn, and the rapid arrival of AI changing industries and jobs. Because of that, we've gathered a wide range of information today, and we put together a national inflation and economic downturn action plan tailored to the different groups across the country. And so we have different tiers, in America. We all know that, right? We have middle class, you have the working class, you have the lower income, near poverty household, you have Americans living below the poverty line. So those are the ones we're going to address. As far as the top 1% in the upper middle class, they usually have a plan set up, and they have people in place that help them to see things, you know what I mean? Clearly. And to keep them abreast of all the economic trends and global shifts as they happen, which puts them in a much stronger position to prepare and respond. So There's a big difference between knowing how, what, and when things are happening versus being caught off guard. Being informed gives people the ability to plan, pivot, and protect their resources before major changes take place. Now, let me say something before we get started, Tice, because we gotta let people know. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of people complaining, cursing, going crazy over this. Inflation. People being laid off, AI, and everything. Complaining does nothing. You can't cash complaining in. You know what I'm saying? Take complaining and take your anger and your cursing to the bank and see if you can cash it. You can't cash it in. You can even put together a business plan and go to the bank, right? And they'll fund it. So a plan works. Being angry at your husband or your wife, fussing at each other, snapping out, you know what I mean? And because you can't go, get the new Jordans and, or she can't get her nails and hair done and all this, and y'all got to pivot and you got to plan things out now because of this economic downturn and the rapid rise of AI and, and inflation. You have to understand, you got to make a plan. Do not attack one another in your household. Don't do that. Husbands and wives do not attack one another. Put together a plan and execute it, and that's it. That's all you have to do. So today, that's what we're going to get into, Tice. You know what I mean? Because, right now, I get it. Everybody's feeling the pinch, Tice.
Yes, they are. Everybody's feeling that pinch with the economics we're in and the way this economy is. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, so Tice, let's get into it, man. Okay, here's the National Inflation and Economic Downturn Action Plan. Let's start with the middle class, Tice. You want to, start going on that with the primary goal?
Yeah, well, with the middle class, the first goal is protecting household stability and building recession-proof skills. What we mean by that is that you would have the skills that your household needs to maintain, to have money flowing through the house and be able to maintain the ups and downs of this economy and what's going through.
That's right. So what we're saying is cut non-essential reoccurring costs. Y'all know what this means, cutting costs and unnecessary expenses like eating out, shopping, living beyond your means, and buying things you can't afford. Now, we know this podcast is going to rub people the wrong way. We already know. We get it. We get it. Everybody's like, man, please, I ain't going to stop living, And it's like, yeah, but if you're struggling, you're not living. Remember that. Second, try to knock out your debt, first of all, by refinancing high-interest debt if possible. The next thing you want to do is also build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. You know what I mean? People don't know how vital this is, Tice. If you got a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, it gives you time while you're working on whatever your next step. What's my next step? But if you in survival mode, and you got to go make the money. You can't put together the 3 to 6 month. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Because I got to make money. So therefore, now I can't put together the plan of what's going to happen after the 6 months of the money is gone. You want to be able to have that little cushion so that while you're planning for your next move, you can pay your bills.
Yeah, and you're right, Jay. And what I wanted to add on to that, people might be like, well, how do I build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund? What you want to do, and what I didn't learn until I graduated from college and my first job, you have to pay yourself first.
Boom.
So what you mean by that, Tyson? So if you make $800 every 2 weeks, take home after the taxes out, take 10% of that and put it in your savings account.
That's right.
So what's 10% of $800? That's $80, right?
There you go.
You do that 2 times a day, that's $160, right?
And you just
take
keep going.
$160 times 12. I don't know what those numbers is, but then that's your 3 to 6 month plan. So before you pay any bills or go out or buy any type of clothes, jewelry, or anything else, that's what we mean by that 3 to 6 month plan. Pay yourself first because you earned it. You got up, worked those hard hours, and now it's time for you to pay yourself, and you have that emergency plan, that 3 to 6 month plan.
There you go. Number 2, employment security. Move toward essential industries like healthcare, utilities, transportation, food production. Gain certifications via community college if you can, or even check out like trade schools and things of that nature so you can get a trade. You know what I mean? Because trade, all this stuff's gonna give you stability.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because that's the game plan is to have a plan to be able to take care of your family and have stability, and then have a plan for the future as well. You know what I mean? Moving forward until this thing resets or whatever's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, the kind of ideas I like to give people is like start a nonprofit. Many people assume that starting a business or a nonprofit organization is extremely expensive, but in many states the cost to register is actually quite affordable. The key is understanding the process and requirements in your specific state. Like, okay, here, like where we at, we're in Pennsylvania, right? In order to like register a company, it's like LLC is 125. Even to start a nonprofit, it's 125. But then you got the other fees, which would be like come out to about $250 to $300 a day. You're straight if you do it yourself. Now, if you hire a lawyer, then they're gonna bang you over the head. You know what I'm saying? Pause. They're gonna it's gonna be $1,000. You know what I mean? For a lawyer, 1,100 for them to set you a nonprofit up. But to set up a regular LLC or a business or a sole proprietorship, man, it ain't nothing. Here is like $75 to $125. And then you call the IRS and you get an EIN number right over the phone, and they'll email it to you. So that's so check your local and state government and check out the fees and find out in your state what it costs, and then put together a plan so that you can put together a little small business.
And then, Jason, you started nonprofits and you run businesses. Could you share with the people and break it down to them? So you're saying on your own without a lawyer, about $300 you can start and register and start your own nonprofit business, correct?
This is correct, but you have to understand the structure. You have to understand bylaws. You have to understand that you have to have a committee, directors and people in place and things in place.
Right.
So you want to have all that in place. And yes, you can use AI and Chat GPT now, and it'll tell you how to do everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What papers to file. It just gives you all the information. So there's no excuse no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't have a computer at your house, go to the library. The library is still open. I pray to God they don't shut the libraries down.
No, I
hope they don't. I hope they don't never shut the libraries
I
down.
don't think they'll never shut the libraries down.
Yeah, so but you can go right to the library and you can get on ChatGPT, boom, and it'll show you. You can get books. You can buy books off Amazon. You can download ebooks and it'll show you. You're on your phone majority of the day, right?
Yes.
Google is your best friend.
Yeah.
Well, Hov said Google's your friend, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. So,
yes.
Utilize Google so that you can understand how to set these things up. You can also set up a podcast. You know what I'm saying? You can sell T-shirts. There's so many things you could be doing. People are like, well, I ain't got no money to set up a podcast. Well, because I need a camera. I need this. Well, it's called www.lensrentals.com. If you go to Lens Rentals, what you can do is you can rent a camera for $100, right?
Yes.
Or $80 for 6-7 days. You can shoot a couple episodes of the podcast. You can get it cheap lights off Amazon. You know what I mean? So right now it's time to like think outside the box and figure out a way. We can sit around and complain and keep saying I can't, but that's not going to help your situation. So let's keep going.
Well, and Jay, what I wanted to add is, if we can do it, you can do it. So we're giving you, here's the ways to start, because a lot of people are like, I don't know where to start. That's a lot of money to start a business. No, it's not. So as Jay goes through these ideas, he already talked about the lens rental. He always talked about the podcast. We already told you it's about $300 to start your own business, right? So it is doable. It don't cost thousands of dollars. I just wanted to add that.
Yes, that's right, and that's where that leads to our next point, which is before getting started, take time to research how to properly register and structure your organization. Learn the differences between forming an LLC, a corporation, or a nonprofit, and determine which structure best fits your goals. Doing your research ahead of time can help you avoid mistakes, save money, ensure your organization is set up correctly from the beginning. Utilize ChatGPT. It will give you instructions and help you put together a business plan and put together information such as bylaws. So all of this is very important. All right. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reiterate and I'm going to go over the ideas of low-cost businesses that Tyson and I came up with. Start a podcast, vlog, create content, mobile car detailing, home cleaning services, lawn care, handyman services, online freelancing, sell T-shirts. The list goes on. People like you could do photography. You can leverage support from small business development centers like SCORE. So it's a lot of options. And if you do your research in your state, in your city, local government, you'll find that, these programs are available to me. Tap into the local government programs, please. It doesn't mean that, man, I ain't asking for no help. It's okay to ask for help.
Right.
It's okay to ask for help. Like, you know what I'm saying? People be like, man, I ain't messing with them people. I ain't. What?
This is your right. This is your future. It's not about not messing with those people. It's about what can set me, my family, my kids, my wife, my girlfriend, my brothers and sisters. What can I do besides working, a regular 9 to 5 that I can create wealth for us to live a great life and for the next generation to live a great life.
There you go. And the thing is, people don't understand too, Tice, is that your tax money helps to set a lot of these programs up.
Yes.
In the government.
And that's what I meant by you're right. You pay taxes.
There you go. So local and federal government, when your taxes go up there to Capitol Hill, programs is needed for each state and each city. So they put these programs in place. Only thing about it is they put them in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a book here. I wish I had it right here. I could show you. The book's about this thick, but it has all the programs and everything that's in, Harrisburg, York, in Central PA. All these programs that's in this area is in that book.
Yes.
And if you tap into those programs, you'll find that there's funding there, there's help, and you'll be like, yeah, I never knew. But like they say, you got to read. You have to read. You have to research. And then once you learn that, once you do that, then, you'll be prepared and you'll be ready. So, again, tap into local and state government programs. Reach out to your local state reps because we don't even do that, Tice.
No, we don't. And then it's easy if you use the Google on your phone. You could put who's my state rep and who represents me, and then put your address in, and you know where you are. They're supposed to work for you, and then they can help you out, and they can help you tap into all those things that you need to get ahead.
Tyson, I think what it is politics has made people, give people nasty taste in their mouth. And they left a nasty taste in their mouth. They feel like, well, I don't trust them.
You're right. And don't get me wrong. With the politics, a lot of people, I can see why they feel that way. You look at the news and you look at those things. But on a local level, it's a lot easier for things to happen for you and to make it happen, to change your community, for you able to get money to start businesses when you tap into your local thing. I'm not talking about up there in D.C., right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about here on the local level.
That's right.
It's there for you, and all you got to do is let your voice be heard and reach out, and they're there to help you.
There you go. All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. The next one's going to be smart investing, okay? Dollar cost average into broad index funds. Avoid panic selling and consider treasury securities during volatility. Now, this might go over a lot of your head, but, make sure, that you do your research. Make sure you look up the definitions and the words that we're saying. Just Google it, put in the definition of volatility. All these things you can look up, So let's keep going. Impact, skill building plus multiple income streams reduce vulnerability. I'm going to say that again. Impact, this is the impact. Skill building plus multiple income streams reduce vulnerability, okay? If you don't know what that means, Tice, you want to give them a breakdown of what that means?
Yes. So besides your 9-to-5 job, find another way to get income besides your 9-to-5 job. Find 2 other ways to get your income besides a 9-to-5 job. So if you got 3 ways that you can get money and have money coming into you, that is better. You're creating revenue streams. You can do more with it. You can invest, right? You can start your own businesses. You can do so many other things if you besides your 9-to-5 job, if you got different streams of income. That's what they mean by multiple income streams. Then you got that, you got something to fall back on. So something happens at 9-to-5, well, at least I got other money and other things coming into place.
There you go. So skill building is very important. Remember, skill building, meaning you're building different skills. You're learning different things. You're learning AI. You're learning how to work a camera. You're learning how to press T-shirts. You might get a T-shirt press. You're learning how to, look, I tell people this, a real quick way for you to get money, because this thing pays every day. It's called DoorDash. It's quick money for you to invest in your career, your side hustle, or whatever you want to. You could just go do that real quick, get you a quick $400 or $500, invest, and boom, you're on your way. You know what I mean? Let somebody, keep your kids in the evening, family, friends, grandmom, whoever, right? And then it's right on your phone. And go dash it, go make you some money, boom, you're ready to go. You know what I mean?
And stack your bread.
Stack
that bread, stack that paper. Look, we all grew up and we all had a dream. And the last thing you want to do before you leave this earth was like, you know what? I had a skill and a dream, and I never chased it.
Boom.
So what I'm saying is now, besides your 9-to-5 job, not unless what you're doing, your 9-to-5 job is your dream. Not going to knock it. But we all had dream, and we had a skill or something we do, and you may not be chasing it. Make that.
Priority.
a priority and another income stream, right? Use your 9 to 5 job to help get that dough to make your dream come true
There
and
you
turn
go.
that into a business.
That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? So, all right. So next one, we're gonna get into the working class plan. The primary goal for the working class is income stability and skill-based upward mobility. So income stability, again, this is so that your income, everything is stable. You got your plan together. You're looking at you also you use Excel to put your monthly and annual bills in the Excel sheet. Right? If you don't know how to do that, Google it. You know what I'm saying? You can even chat GPT, create me a chart, a monthly chart for my budget, my family budget, and an annual chart for my my family budget, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chat GPT will do that for you. Print it out, everything, and now you can look at your expenses monthly and annually, and you'll be ready to go. So you definitely want to understand what income stability is, and then skill based upward mobility is building more skills so that you have upward mobility. Yeah, it's real important for people to understand that this plan that we're trying to help them do, that it really is really going to help them. So what I like to always tell people is this: in DC is going to do what it's going to do. They're going to do what they're going to do on Capitol Hill. And in the words of the great Sean Connery, when he was talking to Elliot Ness in Untouchables, he said, "You know what Capone is, how Capone is built, and what he's." He asked him this major question: "What are you prepared to do?"
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You see how Capone is built. Now, what are you prepared to do?" We all see how DC is built. Now you have to ask yourself, what are you prepared to do? Because this is your life. You can keep buying Jordans. You can keep going out to, buying steaks and, eating out every night. I mean, it's your choice. You have free will. We would never tell you what to do. Like, you're a grown man, grown woman. Do what you want, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you when you see the results of your bad habits, who can they complain to, Tice? Nobody but themselves.
Nobody but themselves. And the goal is you want to get rich, right? I know you want to live for now. We all want to have fun, but I want to be rich. I want to be rich, and I want my kids to be rich, and I want their kids' kids to be rich. And
Generational wealth, right?
Yeah. And what Jay was talking about, smart investing, maybe for those who don't know, invest in stocks, invest in bonds, and do your research.
Boom.
It's very easy to do it. There's a lot of people online who have different shows on different podcasts on YouTube that break it down real simple for you to get paid. Because we all like money, right? It's just like we have to have what we need to do with our money so that we can all get rich.
There you go.
And live that lifestyle, not living from check to check.
Boom. And you got Wall Street Trapper, right?
Yes.
I love Trap. Trap is dope.
I love Wall Street Trapper too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Ian Dunlap. You have, Earn Your Leisure. You have so many, tap in. Tap in and check them out. I'm telling you.
Yes.
A lot of great information on these podcasts, man. Earn Your Leisure is real dope.
Yes, it
Again,
is.
Wall Street Trap is dope. It's a lot of people out there. Check out John Hope Bryant. He breaks everything down.
Yes.
It's so many podcasts and so much information out there right now. We're in the information age, people. So come on, let's tap into this, and that way, your life can get better. We want your life better. We don't want it,
There you go.
We don't want it to turn for the worse. You know what I mean? And a lot of us is living paycheck to paycheck, Tyson.
Yes.
One wrong turn,
One wrong turn,
you could be evicted, be on the street. Game's over.
and game's over. And that's why we want to give you this math, give you this knowledge, right? Because we want you all to come up.
That's it. So let's get into the working class plan. The primary goal for the working class is income stability and skill-based upward mobility. Again, income stability. We've been addressing this the whole podcast. You know what I'm saying? We want your income to be stable so that you can take care of your family and you can continue to plan. When your income is stable, y'all, okay, let's say you got a bunch of money over here.
Mm-hmm.
This money right here takes care of the next 6 months of your kids, your lifestyle, things of that nature, right? While this money is here, that don't mean that you can go kick back and watch Jeopardy or whatever, Family Feud. It means you should be planning. You should be gaining more skills because this nest egg is going to run out, right? And you already want to be on to the next step to have another nest egg set up so that you and your family are okay. Because again, remember what I told you. DC is going to do what it's going to do. But what are you prepared to do? So let's keep going. Immediate stability. Apply early for assistance if needed. Okay, people, apply for assistance if needed. Don't keep getting caught up in this thing of I don't need no assistance. I don't need nobody help. We all need help every now and then, don't we, Ty?
Yeah, we all do. And a lot of people have been there and have used it for them because you might have been in a top spot. And I'm talking about people who've made hundreds of thousands of dollars or people that have made nothing.
Yes.
But they used that for that time being for them to maintain, and they went on to do greater things. So please don't look at this as like, I'm too proud to do that. We all have been through situations where we needed a little leg up and a hand up.
That's right.
You're not abusing it. Use it for what you need to now. And then with these things that Jay and I are giving you, these jewels, use them to level up, right? Because you want to sustain, become wealthy, rich, and pass it on to your kids.
There you go.
So there's nothing wrong with these assistants asking for these programs. It's just temporary.
There you go. So apply for early assistance if needed. Use food and utility assistance programs as well. Negotiate payment plans proactively, you know what I'm saying, with the bill collectors and things of that nature. If you do these steps, you know what I'm saying, it's going to start balancing things out. And it takes some of the worry, off of people, because some people, they feel that, you know what I mean, and they get, all that, they be like, man, I feel the pressure. Like I'm getting overwhelmed.
Right.
So when you put together these plans and you follow these steps, which is the action plan, it takes some of that worry off of you because you can see a little bit more clear. All right, let's go to the next thing. Job strategy. Target high demand fields.
Yes.
Commercial driving, CDL. We all know, I got friends and people that are in that business. It's a little congested. A lot of people's in it. We know that, but you have your niche. Just because a lot of people don't mean you can't do it too. Okay. Skilled trades, electrician, HVAC, plumbing, warehouse logistics. Now, that's kind of phasing out, but it's still a lot of warehouse companies that still exist. It is phasing out because they're getting robots and AI to be able to do a lot of those warehouse jobs now. But what I would say is you still have a nice amount of warehouse companies that still exist, and they don't even want to mess with AI. I spoke to a few of them, and they're like, no, we're not messing with AI at all. You know what I mean? And if they do, it'll be for their customer service or their, you know what I mean? When you call their offices, you might talk to AI or whatever. So the next one is healthcare support roles. That's healthcare support roles. You're always going to need, people to do that. And, it's booming right now. So check into that. Look for apprenticeships and employer paid training programs. Okay. Side incomes. Here we go again. These are the side hustles, and I said it, on the previous tier when I was explaining what the previous tier needs to do. The side income is start a podcast, vlog, create content, gig repair services. If you know how to fix computers, if you know how to fix cameras, if you know how to, fix cars, whatever, right? That's gig repair services. Babysitting, elderly care, reselling essentials, seasonal labor, sell T-shirts or hoodies. These are all good things that you could do, that can bring in some extra income so that, again, you can invest, you can help your people.
And Jay, what I wanted to add when you were talking about the high demand fields, CDL, even though it may be crowded, trucking is always going to be there. People need to eat.
That's right.
Goods and services need to go to people, and we need somebody to get them back and forth, right?
That's right.
So that's always going to be there. That is AI proof because a computer or people can't put in and they can't simulate what you do.
That's right.
The skilled trades, they can't simulate being an electrician. Somebody's air conditioner breaking down and they're fixing it, or their heater breaking down, or learning or doing the plumbing. Those jobs, you can make up to $100,000 or more. Yeah, I said it, $100,000 or more. Warehouse logistics, even what Jay said with the AI, we are in South Central Pennsylvania. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is a hub because we're in the middle of the state where a lot of warehouses and logistics are being. I look all up down 83, I always see new warehouses and stuff being built, right? That is another great thing you get in where you can go through, right? Learn if they are going to the AI thing, and you can do that as well. And, of course, healthcare. It can't duplicate that. We always need people to help us live, to get through our sickness and be more. So these things, what Jay is talking about, what we're talking about, are great fields for us to get into, for you to get into, so that you'll always have that income. We're talking about this economy, right? These are the things that you can do, these jobs, to help you get ahead.
There you go. Okay, number 4, cooperative models. Join or form worker-owned co-ops. Share equipment and resources locally. And that's why I kind of reached out to a lot of some of the brothers around here and said, listen, we got camera gear. We got tons of cameras here and lights and we got banners and we have mics and things. Let's share resources, y'all. Pull together that way. You guys can come up at the same time we coming up. I've been talking to a lot of the local dudes about that, and they're like, okay, man, yeah, we with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, because that's the thing. We're going to have to pull our resources together eventually. We, the American people, run America. Let's be real. The government, yeah, you got the faces, you got the people on Capitol Hill, but you get rid of all of us, what they got?
Nothing. They got nothing. So that's why we need to come together. Look, Jay, and this is not a pet peeve. I guess it is a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
We have to stop the mentality that I can make it and I'll make it on my own and I'm not helping anybody else. The insecurities, that mentality is dead in the 21st century. Why? Because it has to be. We're better when in strength in numbers and when you're working with other people to get what you need to do.
There you
go.
So
if you don't got it, he has it. He has it, he gives it you, and we all come up. But this king of the hill, or you know what, I'm not doing that, the next man, I got it on my own, I'm not helping the next person, it's over in the 21st century.
Boom.
We got to stop it. And this is the way going forward, sharing the resources, working together so we all can eat and enjoy.
There you go. All right, so practical skill ownership increases bargaining power. The impact, this is an impact. Practical skill ownership increases bargaining power. So practical skill ownership meaning you have a skill, you own your business, it increases your bargaining power, right? When you go to a bank, you know what I'm saying? You have 100% ownership, right? Your credit scores are looking good and everything. Now you have more bargaining power, regarding interest rates and things of that nature, right, Tice?
Yes, you do.
And that's the way it works. So understand that. All right, the next tier, let's get into the next tier, Tice.
Okay.
Lower income near poverty level plan. Tice, you want to,
Yeah, so the goal with that, if you're lower income or you're at poverty, right? And we've all grown up and known people and have lived through this, right? The primary goal is you want to stabilize your essentials and access to upward pathways, which means as you want to get what you need so you can get up out of living out of poverty, living maybe out of the projects, right? Living in lower class or Section 8 housing, right? So stabilize, your essentials and your access to get out of those places.
There you go. Number 1, protect basic needs, right?
Yes.
Now, this is a little touchy area, and because I'm a little angry with this administration or stuff that they've been trying to do to the lower, poverty level people, and where they trying to cut SNAP, Medicaid, housing support and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's not good. It's
Right.
not good. So first of all, DC, you got to do better with that. Got to do better. People need help. You guys are raising prices, taxes, everything else. Come on, man. That's going to hurt the little people. So don't cut these programs. You know what I mean? We know they cost billions and billions of dollars, but if we can send money over to all these other countries that we have invested interests in,
Exactly.
right? Then we can help the American people as well.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
So let's not cut those. People
Right.
need these programs. You know what I'm saying? But I digress because people go, oh, he's a socialist, he's a Democrat, he's a.
No, but Jay, a country or any person is only strongest as their weakest link. Right?
Right.
So if you forget about those who are the weakest, that makes us all weak. That's not what America was built on.
That's right.
Give me you're tired, you're tired, you're huddled masses to me, right?
Right.
Now we seem like we tend to forget that that's the thing we want to cut. No. People that have come to America all have needed help.
That's
right.
right.
All immigrants, all of
There
us
you go. There you
have
go.
needed it in some type of way, right? Different ethnicities and nationalities. Just go back in history and do a little research. Remember what Jay said. Google is your friend. Just put it into your phone and you're surprised what we see. So when you always put down the little man, then how are we going to ever be strong together?
There you go.
And remember, as Jay said, we control it. So if we all come together as a people in America, we can make it better.
That's it. So again, protect basic needs. So we're going to get into it. SNAP, Medicaid, housing support. The next one, energy assistance programs. Tap into those. Food banks and community aid networks. Again, your local government, your local community, they have programs, man. Tap into those programs. Move your pride out the way. Get your pride out the way and don't be on no, man, I'm too proud. Man, I'd rather go. No, don't do nothing destructive. You know what I'm saying? Reach out for the help and get the help you need. Number two, free skill development. Workforce development programs exist all throughout various communities, all throughout America. Tap into those. Trade apprenticeships, free digital certifications. They have these things online where you get free digital certifications now, Tyson.
I know.
You put in for like an hour of training and you'll get a free digital certification.
Right.
Tap into that, man.
Yes. And these are all free now. So this don't cost you no money out your pocket. So if you want to level up what Jay is saying and get the skills you need, right, to make more money and have a career, take care of yourself and your family, these things are all free.
Yep. Check eligibility via us.gov and Department of Labor. Tyson, they can go to their state reps office and go to the city council and all that stuff, right? And get the books of where all the grants and all the programs is available, right, for them, right? They can also go online and just get it, right?
You can go online. You can go to your state rep. You can go downtown to City Hall. They have all those things right there. All you have to do is go in and ask, and they'll help you.
There you go. So if you don't get help, remember, it's your fault. It's not no one else, because then nobody's going to drop the book off to you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to come in to your house and pull the internet for pull the website up for you and go here. So
right.
All right, the next one, micro business options, home-based food prep where permitted, cleaning services, childcare, sewing and altercations, yard services, or start a podcast, blog, or create content. And create content. Again, in each tier, I'm going to always try to show y'all little small micro businesses and businesses that you can start. Again, do your research first. Don't eat out of my hands. Don't eat out of Tyson's hands. Make sure you go do your research. You know what I mean? And, plan and execute. Micro grants and nonprofit lenders can help with the startup costs. Okay? I'll say it again. Micro grants and nonprofit lenders can help with startup costs. They will, but you got to tap in. So this means, stop watching, Family Feud, get off your cell phone, and go tap into these programs. You know what I'm saying? Stop worrying about the Jordan release. No disrespect to people that buy Jordans, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Go tap into the programs, y'all. Because what you're going to eventually do is blame Trump, the government, and everybody else, but yet you didn't do your part. You got to do your part, too. You can only blame them but so much, because if you're not doing your part, then
what are you doing? Jordan made his money, so it's time to make your money.
Hello.
It's time for you to come up.
Hello.
And we just want to give you this game and show you that it's right there in your fingertips. A lot of these things is free, and we want you to come up.
There it is. Community networks, mutual aid programs, church or nonprofit support programs, shared child care networks. Again, I'm going to say this again. Community networks, y'all. This is a network that's within your community. Yes. If you are, don't fool with people, of course you're not going to know about it. Right? If you feel like you're too good for the programs in your community, then you're not going to know about these programs. But now, it's time for you to get off your high horse. You know what I'm saying? Swallow your pride and be like, you know what? Let me tap into the, the community networks. Again, which is mutual aid programs, church or nonprofit support programs, shared child care networks. Okay? Impact reduces crisis cycles and builds incremental financial mobility. That's the impact, if you tap in. Right, that's the impact you're going to make on your life. Okay.
The primary goal for Americans below the poverty level plan is survival, stability, and having upward access to systems to help you get out of being poor.
Boom. Immediate support access is SNAP, WIC, Medicaid, housing vouchers, local shelters, and transitional housing. Okay, these are programs. Again, if you tap in, you're going to find them. You know what I mean? You can go right online. Local government, wherever you're located at, and tap in. All right. Number two, government workforce entry. Apply for civil service entry-level jobs. Look for public works or infrastructure programs. Okay. Earn while you learn. These are paid apprenticeships, Job Corps programs, employer-sponsored certifications, All of this is available, people,
And free.
and free. You know what I mean? Tice will tell you. Tice used to do family-based therapy. Tice had access to a lot of stuff to help families. You know what I'm saying? So, he knows.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He knows that, the ins and outs of how this whole thing works. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want you to get behind so far. You know what I mean? We want you to tap into this stuff now because, again, DC's on the move. They're already mapping everything out.
Yes, they are for the next 10 years and beyond. And I don't want us to fall behind. I don't want the American people or anyone else to fall behind. And that's why we want to give you these jewels, this game, so you can go ahead and you can live your life, and then for future generations as well.
There you go.
I'm going to keep saying that. That's what we want you to do. To think about beyond yourself. Where am I at? How do I get to where I can live a great life? And then for my kids, my family, that's once I'm gone, how can they live a better life?
Boom. Y'all getting it? Y'all getting this? Hopefully y'all getting this. I hope y'all really understanding, what I'm saying, what this, this show is about, this episode's about. All right, so zero capital income ideas, okay? Recycling, collection, cleaning and organizing, labor pooling, community garden participation. Back in 60s and 70s and all that, black people would pull together, build gardens. Not only black, but Hispanic and so many other, different races would build gardens in their community where everybody could go and get food and eat, and you know what I mean. We could do that again, y'all. Nothing's stopping us. What's stopping us, right? We pull our resources together. We can go find a garden easily, right? And we can build a garden, and the whole community can eat from that garden. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lettuce, tomatoes, corn, cabbage, whatever it may be. Whenever you want to grow, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? All you need is a piece of land, right? Some of y'all got backyards. You can start there, right?
Yes.
If you got three of your friends that got backyards, hey, listen, y'all, let's start planting our food in our backyards. Okay, let's do it.
Great idea.
Yeah. So now families, all three of those families can now go. They got 3 different gardens that they can pick from. You know what I mean? They can feed themselves. So now they don't have to go to the grocery store. They can just go right out back, get their food, cook it, boom. And you saving money that way. So that's a good thing. So long-term lift strategy is the next one. Secure, stable housing first. Obtain ID and banking access. Build credit with your secured credit tools. Okay?
Jay, I'd like to, because maybe they don't understand, with the build credit with the secured credit tools. If you have no credit, or you say, I got bad credit, they can't help. There's a credit card that you go in there that's called secure credit card. You put $200, they give you $200 on it, right? It's to help build your credit. You go ahead, you put $30, $40 on it. When it's time to get paid, when it's that monthly payment and it's time to make that payment, you pay it. You do that 2 times, 3 times a month, they'll give you $500, right? That's building your credit score and then more, right? So for those who don't got credit, or be like, my credit's bad, I don't know what to do to get my credit score up, you look at the secured credit cards. Mm-hmm. And then when you're talking about obtaining ID and banking access, go to a credit union. I don't like banks, be honest with you. Do the credit unions, do that as well. And I just wanted to share that with them, so maybe they didn't know what you meant by
what
they mean secure credit tools and a secure credit card.
Right, there you go. And y'all already know what secure, stable housing first means, right? You got to get, a place for you and your family to live. So,
right.
And there's tons of programs. I mean, the government is willing to help people that come to our country, right? Whether it's legal or illegal, we're willing to help. So if you an American citizen, right, you guys can get the help too. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the help. You just got to tap into these resources. Please understand that. Tap in, learn them, read. You know what I'm saying?
It's here for you.
Yeah, you could be on social media all day, then you can learn about how to get stable housing, you know what I'm saying, and obtain an ID and banking access and build credit with secure credit tools like Tyson just explained.
Yes.
Okay, again, so the impact for this is step-by-step stabilization prevents generational poverty traps. I'm going to say that again, people. The impact for this plan is step-by-step stabilization prevents generational poverty traps. Because we all know, I grew up in the hood. Tice, you grew up in the hood, right?
Yes.
We've seen, I've seen my I'll use my family for example, because I don't want nobody feeling like we're taking shots at anyone out there. I've seen my family, people in my family go from it was maybe the aunt, the mom was from the projects. Then the daughter lives in the projects, and then the daughter's daughter lives in the projects, and then the son lives in not nothing. There's nothing wrong with living in the projects. We're not saying that, but what we're saying is it becomes a generational poverty trap. You know what I mean? You know, we have to start somewhere, whether it's the projects or wherever. We have to start, but let's not get into a poverty trap. It's okay. You deserve better. You can have better. And if you're there now, we're not knocking you. We just saying you can have better. You deserve better. But if you're starting there and you're building and you're slowly building and it's working for you, great. But we know, and because I talk to a lot of different black women and you know and people, and they go, I don't want my kids to raise their kids in the projects. I'm like, oh, they're like, yeah. And you hear women say that a lot of times. Like, no, you're gonna do better than me. They tell their kids all the time, you're gonna do better than me.
That is the goal.
And I'm like, oh,
That's
okay.
the goal.
I'm
Yes.
like, okay.
I love to hear that.
Right. But what we usually do is, oh, so what's wrong with the projects? And it's like, no, I'm not. People, don't do that. Don't do that. We're not. Let's not get all. You know.
Don't lose attention and don't deflect. They're not saying that. You have to take it and hear what they're saying, because you want your children to do better than you. And then when they grow up and become adults, you want their children to do that. What parent does not?
There you go.
Want their kids to do better than they did. That's how it's supposed to be.
So again, the impact, step-by-step stabilization prevents generational poverty traps. Got it? You plan, you execute. If you execute this correctly, the information to be passed down from generation to generation to generation, which will break any generational curses or generational traps, poverty traps that people are in right now. Okay? Tice, you want to go into the next one?
Yes, I do, Jay. So the next thing we have is national level strategic themes across all income levels. These are some great things, great tips that we want to share with you. Number one, you need to focus on production. Inflation rewards producers over consumers. So what do we mean by that? You can make goods. You can repair goods. You can grow your own food, which is so key, and you can provide essential services. If you do any of those four things, make goods, repair goods, grow food, and provide services, essential services that everybody needs and can't live without, you can go forward.
There you go. Inflation rewards producers over consumers because we consume a lot, right?
We are a nation of consumers.
Say that again, Tice.
America is a nation of consumers.
Boom. And consuming only puts us in a hole a lot of times, and we don't realize it. It might make us feel good, right, Tice? We might go to the mall.
It might be. Who doesn't like to feel good and look good from head to toe, right? But then there's something else behind it, right? Do I want to be wealthy one day? Do I want to be rich? If I stop and buy 5 outfits instead of 10 outfits, can I take those other money for 5 outfits and start my own business and really be rich and do whatever I want to be and do whatever I want to do at any time and not have to worry about bills, credit cards, or anything else? That's what we're saying.
Boom. And the next step is strengthen local economies.
Huge.
Buy local, hire local, invest local. I'm going to say that again. Buy local, hire local, invest local. Tice, you want to elaborate on what this means?
So if you, in your community, where you're at, if you buy from those local businesses, if you invest in those local businesses in your community where you live at, if you hire and start a business in those local communities where you live at, you're raising your community up and they have power. In America, economic power, having money is the key then for you to raise up and have power in this world and to help your family. Boom. So it's important. Buy local if you can, hire local if you can, and invest in your local communities. Remember what we talked about earlier? That mentality is dead, that I made it and that's it. No, because there's power in numbers. 4 hands are better than 2.
Come on now.
You get things done faster and everyone grows and everyone can eat and be successful.
There you go. Number 3, avoid panic. Man, people get, they get anxiety. They start worrying. Then they start hitting the bottle. Then some people want to get high all day long because they're like, man, ain't no way out. Again, check this episode out. For those people out here that's Anybody that's in your circle that's like, I don't know what to do, tell them to check out All Sides of the Coin. You know what I'm saying? Jewels for the People episode. You know what I mean? Because right here, this is Jewels for the People, for y'all, for everybody. White, black, it don't matter what color. We ain't wearing. This is for the people. This is for the people. Because again, DC's on the move. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and ain't nobody coming to save y'all. So that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. All right. Number 3, avoid panic. Panic and does nothing. Right? Don't panic. Don't stress. Just tap into the resources and execute. Okay? Plan and execute. I mean. So here's the thing: crashes create opportunity for disciplined actors. During a crash, it can create an opportunity for you to take advantage of it if you're disciplined enough. You know what I mean? You have to understand that. You know what I mean? Just be disciplined and figure out what it is you want to do and put your plan together. So when crashes or anything happens, you can take it. You can say, you know what though? Maybe this is an opportunity, right? Because I've watched a documentary a while back that says,
yes,
when things are bad in America, that's when the most money is made.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Not when things are good, but when things are bad.
That's true.
So you got to look at a crash as something. This is an opportunity, not the world's over. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's not over, Ty.
It's not over. No.
The next one, liquidity plus skills equal leverage.
Yes. When they mean liquidity, skills, leverage, what do you have in terms of assets that you own? What do you have in terms of your cash, right? When it says liquidity, what do you have that you can touch, that you can use, right? If you have that and you have the skills to make more money, that means you have the leverage to invest that money. You have the leverage to do other things, start businesses, right? So that you can grow. So that's what they mean by liquidity plus the skills equal to leverage.
Boom. There you go. The next one is going to be core principles. And inflation and downturns. These are the core principles in inflation and downturns. Cash flow is greater than speculation. You can speculate all you want, but if you got the cash flow, you can make moves.
Yes. If you got the dough, you can make moves.
You can make moves. People are like, well, I don't have the cash. Again, let's find ways, people, right? Because I see the Jordan releases and I see the lines when I'm.
Mm-hmm.
We find ways to get those Jordans.
And there's a million ways to get to the bag.
So come on now. You know,
Yes.
I got homies that smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when they want that weed, they gonna find a way to get that weed. You
Yeah,
feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you like, yo, I
yeah.
gotta smoke, man. I ain't got no trees, yo. Ain't nobody got no trees. Where the trees at? It's like, I thought you just said you was broke. Nah, I'm good now. So again, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can find cash flow so that we can get things going in the right direction.
And
Come
we
on.
gave you the jewels in this on all the different ways you can get it.
Boom, there it is. Skills is greater than credentials. We're finding that out right now
Yes.
during this time. People with bachelor's degrees and white collar jobs and stuff, it doesn't even matter anymore. People with skills, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
They're going to be very valuable during this time. You know, when AI is, you know, on a rampage, you know what I mean, taking jobs. People with skills are going to be secure because they got a trade, they got a skill that AI just cannot do.
Right.
So skills versus credentials is greater than credentials. No disrespect to nobody that's in college, that's getting a bachelor's degree in this, that. Just switch your major. Would you tell them to switch their major right now, Tice, or what?
Yeah, or go into STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, management, because they need that. Do stuff that you have an actual skill that can't be duplicated by AI and that you can always grow and have money and eat.
Yeah, because the skills is going to be, the skills in the trade is what's going to actually combat AI.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
make sure you get, again, skills is greater than credentials.
Yes.
Number 3, production is greater than consumption. We just talked
about it. Yes.
So understand that, you know, I want more CDs, I want more records, I want more Jordans, I want more jewelry, I want more clothes, I want more. If you're not reselling that stuff to make a money or make a profit from it, you have a lot of stuff just sitting in your closet. That's all wasted money.
Say it again.
That's wasted money. And you could use that money to create income, you know what I'm saying, for yourself, future income for your family, to be able to survive, you know what I'm saying, this inflation and, you know, this thing that's coming, this crash. You can create businesses. You can be productive, right? That's why I say production is greater than consumption. Understand that.
That's how you're going to make money in America. You can consume all you got and look good, but is that making you money? It makes you feel good, and we all like to feel good, but is that going to pay the bills and actually make you money? Where you like, I can pay off all my credit card bills if I start my own business or own side hustle, right? I can pay off my mortgage, my rent, take any of the trips I want to, and take care of my kids, right? If I flip it from consuming it and having it on my back or on my wrist and flipping it into a business or a skill, now I got all the money.
There you
I
go.
don't gotta wake up and talk and listen to no one else. I can do it for myself.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I want for everybody.
Yes.
I want all of us to live like that.
There you
So
go.
we flip it from that, Jay, from consumption, consuming, and think about how do I produce to make
Right,
money and
right,
skills.
right.
We all come up.
There you go. And then instead of buying Nike, you can invest in Nike.
There
know
you
what I
go.
mean? Check out the ticker symbols and the ticker signs and things of that nature. Tap into the use ChatGPT. How do I invest? How do I start investing? How do I invest in Nike, Adidas?
Yes.
The things that you put on your back and on your feet, you can actually invest in. That way, at least if you invested in it, okay, that makes more sense, right? So do that. You know what I mean? So again, cash flow is greater than speculation. Skills is greater than credentials. Production is greater than consumption.
Yeah.
And community is greater than isolation. And let me tell you why I say community is greater than isolation.
Break it down for him, Jay.
If you isolate yourself, most isolated people, you know what I mean? They say during the Great Depression, a lot of people isolated themselves. And they went into depression and they end up grabbing a gun and killing themselves. Don't isolate yourself during this time, people. Get around your community. Get around the people you love, right? Get around people who, you know what I'm saying, like-minded individuals who, you know, can think positively. Don't get around the negative people now, because the negative people, you know what they do, Tice. It's just bad, man. We might as well just go burn down everything, and we might as well just go kill people. No, don't get around them people. Get around positive people in your community. Again, tap into all the community outreach programs, local government and everything, and just build with those people and, you know, talk with people that are in good spirit, right? That think positive. Do not isolate yourself during this time, because that only leads to depression and everything else. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people go through it during COVID, Tyson, and during, 2008, and where people was losing their houses and stuff like that. People went through depression. It was killing themselves.
They were.
So isolation, just because you're alone with your own thoughts, and when you're isolated.
And it's better being around your own people, being around your family. Listen to others that think like you.
Yeah.
Makes you feel good,
There you go.
right? Don't make you think you're going crazy or I'm just in it by myself.
Yes, and you're not in it by yourself. We're going through it. Listen, the United States, it's a trickle effect. When something happens at the top, it trickles down and hits all of us. Understand that. Now, the 1%, in the upper middle class, of course, they have, plans in place because they're closer. They're the ones making a lot of the stuff happen. Let's be honest, right?
You're right.
So they're going to know what's happening and what's coming. And they were like, okay, so now that we know this coming, what should we do? That's how we have to start thinking now. We know this is coming. What are we going to do? You okay?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? So please understand this, people. Artificial intelligence can be a powerful tool to help you develop ideas, create plans, and even find new ways to generate income. When used correctly, AI can support research, organization, and strategy for personal projects, businesses, and community initiatives. Okay? Be sure to check out our episode on AI, where we break down several AI programs that are available and explain how they can be used effectively. Please, people. Please, okay? We know that AI is taking jobs, but you can use it to, come up.
You can use it to get ahead. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it is important for us to come together and strengthen our communities, okay? By pulling our knowledge, skills, resources, we can build community resource groups that support one another. Previous generations showed us, showed us before how to do this. You know what I mean? Working together to start businesses, create support programs, and share essential resources such as food, clothing, shelter, employment opportunities, and financial support. Okay, so we can pull together. Black Wall Street showed us this. The Jewish community showed us this, right? We've had examples in the past, right, Tyson, all throughout America and throughout the world.
And throughout the world and throughout America. And even to this present day, you can show you how to do this.
Yeah. So we got to pull everything together right now. Mm-hmm. There's no more me and I attitude. And if you have that attitude, then okay, Cool. The rest of us, we got to get together, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of course, you're going to have those ones that, you know, me, I, okay, you're all about yourself. But there's no I in team.
There is no I in team. That's great, Jay. Yes.
There's no I in team.
There is no I in
And
team.
understand something. Not one man works by himself on Capitol Hill in D.C. neither.
No.
He has a group of people.
He has a group of people.
So if they're going to pull together, don't you think we need to pull together?
Yes.
You know.
And all it takes is a couple people.
That's it.
You ain't going to get everybody, but if you have a family member, one of your friends, you got an idea, you want to make some change in the community, y'all three get together, right? Then you might find two more people, right? Then you go approach somebody in the local government or your city council meeting if you want to change something locally. And then you know what? Your voice is heard and changes are going to be made. And that's how you do it.
Because, I mean, they're saying AI is about to do what, Tice? Take tons of jobs.
Takes thousands of jobs. It's starting now. Where are we going to be 5 years from now? Will you still have your job?
And if they cut SNAP, they cut Medicaid, if they cut.
Then what do you have?
So you don't think that this is, and I get it, yeah, but the Jordan release next week. Okay. I mean, I don't want to hear this. Dude, either you listen to this now or you're going to pay later. Listen to this now or you're going to pay later. Look, the decision comes before the results.
Yes, it does.
The decision comes before the results. You can make a bad decision today, and it can affect you for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
So, again, tap into the movement, man. Tap into the movement. Tap into your community. The movement of people building together. Wall Street Trapper, Earn Your Leisure, John Hope Bryant. You know, get the books. Whatever you need to do. Watch this episode 5,000 times if you need to. But you need to get the information because D.C. is on the move, man. And America's about to go through a shift. And it's going to get real crazy. And we just want you to be ahead of the game, man. That's it.
And be ahead of the game. Yes.
Be ahead of the game. We don't want nothing else. You know what I'm saying? That's for everybody out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? In America. That, you know what I'm saying? That fall in the tiers that we discussed earlier. All right? We gone.